I've had it always with the brown nosing, nonstop. Foxnext can't do anything wrong. I love Foxnext. I'm sick of this shill. I'm calling you out. Enough of the defending them. What else is it going to be? Soon you're going to love these sale offers too. You have exposed yourself for who you really are. And I am going to tell the community about it. So you will be known for who you really are. Your nonstop BS promotions of this nonsense needs to stop. And I am going to tell everybody. You will be exposed. You don't think we've noticed? We've noticed. I've had enough. Sorry, brother. You are getting called out right now, right here. And if you want to bring the noise, bring it. But this needs to be discussed with the community so everybody knows. So let's get to it and talk about what this nonsense is. You exposed. Next, whatever direction is after this. So before we get to this double agent and their trickery and their deception to the community, first we got to understand what we're talking about. You can see this lovely lady behind me, Rescue. She's been recently added to the Blitz Store Orbs, right? Blitz Store Orbs. So there is a just fire and fury about this. Specifically that the way to farm her is only, outside of the previous orb she was in, that it is in the Blitz Store Orb only. So, if you click find to see exactly where she's at, and look, everybody needs her. It's like, so Blitz Orb, Mega Orb, Premium Orb, and then Red Star that we're not even counting. So you got 3 orbs you can technically farm her at, and these 2 are the Premium and Mega were added a little while ago. I'm actually pretty far along on her, probably further than most. I know those in my alliance I think are 2, 3, 4-star max. The ones who spent some money are closer to where I'm at with her. But when she first came out, it was, I think it might even been the whole first Blitz. I don't know if it was both Blitzes, but I think it was at least one. Everyone was like, Rescue's terrible because her ultimate, the way it worked, it didn't line up with any of the abilities. So everyone's like, I'm not going to waste her time. And then I think I remember, Tony Bing, I think might have been the first who put some videos out. He said, actually, after they fixed the ultimate to be a turn earlier, it's basically saying power armors can destroy most meta teams. There was several content creators that he was just the first one that I remember seeing. So anyway, Rescue wasn't really pursued very hard. And so then eventually it's like, wow, I really need Rescue. I need Rescue because if she gets taken out early in those power armor matches before she can get that ultimate off, it can prove, or it can mean that you lose. So anyway, so everybody needs Rescue. Everybody wants Rescue. I mean, unless you're a hardcore whale, you probably need her. You're probably sitting at around that 3-4-star range. And I'm a dolphin mini whale, maybe. I'm not sure, what whale means to, it probably means something different to everybody, but I consider myself more of a dolphin. But that aside, I definitely need her. I can use a bunch of, to get her 7-star. I'd love it. So like I said, so she got added to the Blitz Store Orb. So everybody is just freaking out about this. They're pissed. Again, it's just hard to, who knows what really, everybody feels about this. It's obviously the vocal can be a minority, but I don't know that. But it seems that everyone's pretty upset about this. Content creators, players in the game, that they're going, hey, why isn't she in the store like Rhino? I want to be able to farm her in the store. I get it. It is frustrating because you want to be able to bring up this character. So look, I'm going to explain something, and this is very similar to my my brother Valley in his alliance. I saw his video the other day, and I wanted to share. He's in a higher end alliance than what I'm in. He's, I think, top 10-ish, top 15, 20 range. My alliance is more like CP-wise top 100, like right on that top 100 threshold. For the raids, my alliance is like a top, I'd say 70, 50-ish range. You know, depends. Sometimes we'll drop down depending in the season to save keys, etc. But we're in that top 100 range. We're not as high as Valiant as guys, but when Rhino came out, we talked with our Alliance members and said, look, we know everybody doesn't blitz a lot. So how are you guys doing with your blitz currency? Are you pursuing Invisible Woman? Because we know a lot of people didn't really farm Sinister Six, but she seems like an anchor to a fantastic war team that would, you know, helps everybody when you're fighting a war. And, you know, we had some mixed results, but for the most part, a lot of people in my alliance did not have a lot of blitz currency. I think one guy had like 130K, I had like 90K. And then I think the next was around 50, 60. And then we had a couple other in the 20 range, and then it just dropped off to like 5,000 and 2,000 and 100. And this was over half of our alliance had under 5,000, you know, blitz currency. And so we just kind of talked about it, and we're like, man, we really need to figure out what to do here because our alliance is stretched too thin. And if you haven't seen Valley's video with his alliance leader, they did something very similar that we did. And basically we decided, you know what, if you guys don't have the blitz currency to buy all of these different things, we're gonna step off because we've got minimum requirements in our alliance. You got a minimum boost, you got a minimum attacks that you have to do. You've got to be in a raid a certain time, all that kind of thing. I'm sure you guys all have their different type of things. So we said, look, we understand that we're not expecting you guys to pay. We're not trying to be a top 10, top 5 alliance. We're never going to be that. It's just not how we roll. But we encourage you guys to farm Rhino so that you can try to get Invisible Woman to help on the back end of things. Because ultimately what this game is about is resource management. And that's what I try to say in all of my videos is resource management. If you're not properly managing resources, making your plans, making your strategies, and thinking a little bit long term, you're going to come short on something. There is just way too much stuff to do in the game, whether it's a mode, a team, a certain tune to focus on. You've got to say, you know what, unless I'm going to spend an insane amount of money, I need to focus on this, and this is what my priority is. So we try to help our alliance to say, look, just, you know, back off of boosts. We still want you to get, you know, 9-ish attacks. Ideally more. You got to be on the energy. All of your free energy you have to use, but we're not looking at, if you're, you know, talking about those last 2 attacks, you know, okay, maybe we'll back off that. You know what? If it costs us some fights, it costs us some fights. Because, you know, the war elo system seems to be about 50-50 anyway, unless you're in that top upper echelon, which we're not, which I know sometimes you can get pitted against very, very difficult teams all the time. So we just made a decision. We're like, hey, you know what? That's not. And then obviously there was a data mine that talked about rescue being in the Blitz store or in some sort of blitz. And then these red star orb fragments going to be in there for potentially 7 days. And we hadn't really necessarily talked about it as alliance then. We've talked about it as leaders a little bit and just said, you know, this is coming again. It's even more so to make blitz currency, you know, more valuable. So we were, you know, just saying we really need to figure out how to do this because people are going to want red stars and they're going to want rescue. Definitely going to want rescue. And so then rescue came out and just in the orbs. So it's kind of like everyone's like, well, what the heck? You know, these orbs, they're 300. Well, it's not showing it there for whatever reason, but they're 350 credits to open. It might be because I have 180 of them. And you're probably going, what the hell? How do you have 180 of them? How do you have 80,000 blitz currency? Again, resource management. I've been playing this game. Let's look. All right. So I've been playing this game for 458 login days. So not, I mean, it's a decent amount of time, but I am not a beta player. I'm not a launch player. It doesn't show my blitz wins on here anymore. We can go to my profile and I'll look at that, but it's essentially 21,000. So I have an insane amount of blitz wins, but the guy who has 130,000 blitz currency in my alliance has half as many as I do. So again, he's smart about what he does with his resource management. So he's able to use that currency for what's needed in the game. So what I'm saying to everybody here ultimately is, you know, if you be smart about what you want to open, when you want to open things, what you want to use things on. I highly recommend not opening orbs, blitz orbs specifically, with any of the current. I've never opened a blitz orb with my blitz credits ever. Let me take that back. If I did, it's less than, you know, a couple handfuls. I don't like to do it. I don't think it's a smart use of, you know, currency. And that's how I built it up. And for those orbs, I eventually got all those characters up. And so I'm like, what am I going to open the Blitz Orb for? You know, the gold return there's minimal, and I don't care about the ultimate shards. So I'm just going to sit on them until there's an orb event or more characters come to the Blitz store that I want to open. And even when Rhino came, I was like, you know, I could probably farm them. I've got enough currency. I'm not going to open any. So I'm in a position that I could farm rescue if I want. So let's get to this shill here. So what I'm ultimately saying here is that I think it's, look, before this Blitz Orb, we couldn't farm rescue other than premiums and mega. To me, Foxnext gave us one more opportunity to be able to farm her. And that's it. You know what I mean? Is it hard? Yes, it absolutely is hard. Would I prefer in the Blitz store so I know I'm getting those 5 shards? 100%. I would like that. I want that. But my mentality is that I'm going to get dealt a plate full of potential crap, and I don't want all that crap. I need to figure out how to be able to plan and focus on what I want and find that diamond in the crap and say, you know what, I'm going to pick that out, and I'm going to have the things that I'm going to have the gloves, I'm going to have the cleaner, I'm going to have everything I need to go into that crap and pull out what I want. So ultimately, that's kind of what I'm here to say, is that you know, it sucks that happened, but I think that it's one more avenue for us to get rescue. And I get that it angers people. I don't blame them for being upset, but I do think that, you know, it is just one more mechanism for us to get her, and that if we focus right, and that if we plan and strategize and just be smart about where we spend our resources, then it won't affect us as much. You know what I mean? You won't be upset, and you'll be able to get what you want. Now, the one part I will say that depending how this works out here is that they're talking about a 10% guaranteed drop. So overall, yeah, it's 10%. So but you're still very likely not to get her. This is the way I'm looking at this. And look, as much as I'm into math and stats and spreadsheets and all that stuff, when I look at this, I'm like, so I see I have a 90% chance to get whatever this is. And then I've got a 10% chance to get whatever this is. So I'm more than likely getting whatever's in here, which is not rescue. So that part, that's kind of the part where I'd really be, that's kind of bogus, guys. Yeah, I get that it's a 10% chance, but, you know, you can't even put her in here at like 7% chance. So that's the part where I'm like, all right, that's kind of blah. So anyway, so I guess I exposed myself. That came off weird, but yeah, look, I was obviously kidding about exposing a shill, etc. My opinion on this thing was a lot different than a lot of the community, but I did want to share it because I thought that my opinion might be based on the way I approach things in the game, and that my hope is that if I can help others potentially focus in a similar manner, that these type of things might not bother as much, or you'll be better prepared for certain things in the game. So again, I get it if, you know, you're like, you know what, Wolver, get out of here. You're full of it. You suck, whatever. But you know what? And I thought about that. And that's kind of why I waited to do a video a little bit. I was like, oh, do I really want to expose my opinion on this? And I was like, you know what? It is what it is. You know what I mean? And I got to be honest with you guys, and I wanted to share it. And, you know, I hope that even if you think I'm full of it on this and that you're on the total opposite end of the spectrum, that, you know, we can still talk about aspects of the game. And I hope some of my videos can help you guys. So anyway, so that's all I got on this thing. I just kind of wanted to come out and, you know, share it with you. And let's wrap it up and just kind of get back to our wonderful Memorial Day weekend. So like I said, you are exposed. Mirror man in the mirror. I shouldn't do that. I gotta leave the singing to Chew. So anyway, obviously I was goofing around a little bit, but yeah, I just wanted to share my opinion on the video, and just that, you know, look, I'm taking the Blitz Orb rescue being added to it as one more avenue for me to be able to get her. I'd prefer it in different ways. I prefer her to also be in that 90% chance drop. But you know what? It's a little more of something. So, you know, and like I said, the game's about resource management. And I get that, you know, it takes away from things from war. And that was the part that I led on early, is that, you know, you got to decide what you want to focus on. And sometimes that might screw your alliance. I get it. We, in my alliance, as a more casual alliance, we were like, well, you know, I'm part of the leadership group there. And we decided that, you know what, we need to think longer term and think about our players a little bit and be able to get through some of these. And you know what? War currency, what are you going to get? You know, 5 carnage shards for 1,000, you know, half of a win. Okay, that's a long farm. So anyway, I hope this video made sense to some of you guys. I wanted to share my opinion. You know, I got to be upfront and honest with you guys anytime I have certain opinions on anything in the game, just so you know where I'm at. But again, I hope ultimately from this that you guys are seeing that that the way I approach things, that, you know, maybe it could help you. Maybe it could give you an avenue to, you know, when you're dealt that plate of crap, that it might not upset you as much if you've, you know, planned for things and got contingency plans and have resources saved, etc. So, as always, I really appreciate you guys stopping by. I hope you stay. I hope my opinion on this didn't push you away. And again, in one of my other videos, I'm literally trying to give away money. But I got to get that video to 500 likes to be able to do it. So I'll put the link below. You literally just have to go and like it. I've got more views than I need on it. I just need the likes. So do the likes, make the comment that I need, and put yourself in running for the giveaway. And as always, appreciate you guys stopping by. Hammer down the like button, subscription, notification bell. I love you. Please come back, and I hope to see you again soon.